everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone tuning in from all over the world. This is Ramu and welcome to the Boys Café. I have with me Aakash and let's go through what we had in Game Week 10. Aakash, how did it go for you, man?
It went well, not too bad. Expected a few more points from some of the punts that I had this game week, but didn't go as per plan. But a green arrow in the end from around 400k ended up at around 330, 340k. So as long as it's a green arrow, I'm quite happy with it. How did it go for you?
Better than I actually expected. Like I got some.
You got the highest amounts of 4. So don't speak so.
Yeah, doesn't happen that very often, but I think ending the game week on 77, I think, I was actually not expecting Sessegnon to keep that clean sheet. That really helped, propelled me above the average, above average 70 mark, and I think the City assets, of course, gave me half the points, 36 between Cancelo, Haaland and Ederson. And of course, Martinelli, whom all of us have definitely also excelled and got us the bonus points and all that. But very, very good game week in terms of what has happened recently. But
I think the average also will be quite high this game week. I think it's around 69-70 week for 70 for the people who are involved, because most of the scores that we have seen on Twitter, they are around 70-72. So below 70 would be a below average game week for anyone listening. But
and also doesn't help that a lot of people have almost the same players.
Yeah, most of them.
By now, the wildcarders and the non-wildcarders, probably everybody has the same kind of players. So the returns wise, it's minor differences.
But now because game week 12 is going to be a blank, we hope that the template will be changing a little bit. So let's deep dive into our scores, deep dive into our teams and our future transfer plans, and let's get started. Okay, so let's deep dive into my team. The team that you see on the left side of the screen is mine. On the right side, as usual, is Ramu. I ended the game week with 71 points. Started with Pope, was a little wary of Ward. And during halftime, Leicester were keeping that clean sheet. You can ask Ramu also that I was quite worried that it could have been the wrong decision of starting Pope this time. But then ended up the right decision, one more point than Ward. Then in defense, I had Trippier, Cancelo, James. Trippier giving me 7 points. James, being the troll that he is, didn't start Potterball into play. And then Cancelo, like we suggested, a 18-pointer haul. Southampton haven't looked good in attack, so that's why Cancelo was going to start at 6 points, and then we knew that attacking return was due. So assist and a goal, giving the 18-pointer there. So good defense display from my team. Then in midfield, I had Maddison, Barnes. Didn't play well. Bournemouth at home defended really well, like we had predicted last time that Bournemouth at home will be a tough game for Leicester. So likewise, Maddison, Barnes didn't create much. I punted on Coutinho instead of Zaha this week. Didn't go as per plan. A very bad game by Aston Villa. A Martinelli haul against Liverpool. We knew that he would make a joke out of Trent, and that exactly happened. A joke plus an injury to Trent. Almiron giving me 7 points helped my rank. Whatever the green arrow I have got was due to Almiron. And then Kane and Haaland up front, no explanation needed. A little disappointed by Kane. He could have scored up one more goal. For this week, the transfer being Coutinho to Zaha. Zaha will play Leicester. Leicester have been really poor in defense. I just want to find a way to get in Trossard, especially because he plays Nottingham Forest next week. So I'm eyeing up Trossard, but preference is Zaha.
Like you said, we're just doing some initial thoughts over here because again, none of us are decided on what are the moves to make. This is what we're thinking at the moment. Probably it could change maybe in the next 2 days once we go through the games again, look at all the stats that are coming up and all that, and maybe some injury news, etc. that is coming in from training. So this could all change.
Right. Over to you, Ramu. How did your 77 points come from?
I think what made the difference for me is again a City keeper, Ederson. I think we mentioned it last time as well. Set and forget keeper for the entire season. One of the best defenses in the league. So Ederson, again, giving me a clean sheet, and Sessegnon, like I mentioned in the initial part of the show. I actually expected a bit more from Zaha, to be very honest, because of
he had a very bad first half. He was absolutely pocketed by Christensen. And then Vieira, I think, changed the system a little bit in the second half.
Again, I would have liked him to give more. Even Pascal Gross, I think he did create a few chances, but again, Spurs were kind of digging in deep and trying to save the lead that they had.
But I really liked Welbeck, especially in the first half. Absolutely. He was taking a lot of good positions. And Trossard, like I said before, those two, if like Mitrovic is going to be injured, is not fit, then I think Mitrovic to Welbeck is the thing that I'm eyeing up. Welbeck, I think, is due a haul very soon. Okay, so let's move into the fixtures. And before moving there, if you are liking this video, if our suggestions have helped you, please like, subscribe to our channel. We are very close to 950 subscribers. So help us get there and help our channel grow as well. A thing to look out here is that it's not a Saturday deadline. It's a Friday night deadline. You see here as Saturday because it's in India time. So keep that in mind. Don't miss the deadline. The first game of the week is Brighton versus Brentford. Brentford versus Brighton. Brighton away. What are you expecting, Ramu?
I don't see many goals. Maybe a 1-0 or maybe a 1-1. I don't think, because defensively, I mean, Brighton are really good in terms of, I mean, whatever we have seen in terms of what the new manager has brought in. Again, it's not a playing style that's different, but even FPL wise, if you look at it, there are so many attractive options. I mean, who are attackers, but at the same time, I wouldn't sleep on their defense as well yet. Like good options like Dunk or even Welchman can be good long-term options as well.
So a lot of our listeners must have Trent in their team, and now if he's injured long term, most of us already have Cancelo, Trippier and James. So the fourth option that you can look at can be the Brighton defense, especially because the next 2 game weeks are very good for Brighton defense. Brentford this week and Nottingham Forest next week. So if you are looking for one, my choice will be Webster, because he's like 0.1 cheaper than Dunk, and then he has the highest baseline also.
What do you think about Sanchez though, Aakash? Is he worth waiting, or is he like, can we bring him in already?
So for people who have Pope like myself, since I have bought him only one clean sheet in 4 game weeks, and it's a little frustrating, but then you need to understand and see the fixtures going forward as well, not just the 2 weeks, right? When you bring in a keeper, it's not like you don't transfer a keeper out in 2 weeks. You bring him in for like a bigger, longer gap, right?
That's
8, 9, 10 weeks. And Brighton, after Nottingham Forest, had Chelsea and I think it is Manchester City. So for this game week, Sanchez can be a good option, but not a long-term option. Not a long-term option. I won't go there. Moving on to Leicester, Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace, they have a good defense. They showed that in the second half against Leeds. First half they were completely open, but in the second half they were quite compact.
Right.
So what are you expecting from this game?
I think a lot of managers had brought in Gehi, because of course the price tag is also something that tempts him, because at 4.3 he's like, again, can be that fourth option amongst a sure starter as well in that Crystal Palace defense. I think Leicester, I don't know, you want Leicester almost scores every game, but again, it's not like they are not in the best of form, so even if they score, might not be like a 4-goal or 5-goal that they did against Nottingham. And Crystal Palace aren't that bad a defensive side, so it's not going to be like a repeat of what you saw with Nottingham Forest. So maybe Crystal Palace defense, I think Gehi, and even now that Anderson is also back, I think I'll also keep an eye on him, because he because he plays out from the back and does all those crossfield balls. Maybe
great on set pieces.
Great on set pieces as well. So I think a lot of assist and attacking potential somewhere is there in those defenders as well. So I think both of them.
But if you have Cahill and Anderson, will you start them this week?
I might, because I have Madison, probably not. But I think if you are keeping them, like if you have them, I think I'll keep, because there are some good fixtures.
We'll obviously
coming
keep, because it's a great long-term fixtures. But
right.
About this game week, I don't think I'll start them, because Leicester, like you said, they always find a way to score. Apart from that, Crystal Palace forward Zaha. Great option. And I'm in fact thinking of maybe the third captaincy option for our Voice of the Boys thread. So let's see, because he plays from the left side, and that's where the left and the middle area is where Leicester concede most of their chances.
That's right.
So I think Zaha can exploit the Leicester defense. Next game is Fulham Bournemouth. I don't think we have many assets from these teams apart from three. Mitrovic might be injured, might be fit. If he is fit, you start him. If he's not, I won't keep him in the team. I'll probably sell him. I'll probably sell him. The second from Fulham would be Andreas. Again, he will be a bench option. Because Willian is injured, he is on most of the set pieces. He is a good bonus point as well. But I don't, because so many teams have good fixtures this week, I don't think I would prefer starting Andreas this week. And from Bournemouth, we have Solanke. And Fulham have considered a lot of chances in the last few weeks. They are the second worst in terms of chances conceded, Fulham. And Solanke, like we saw last game, he just has an eye on goal. So maybe creates something for Billing again, or maybe this time it's his turn to score. Next one is Wolves versus Nottingham Forest. What do you think?
I think Wolves, I'm not very sure. Attacking wise, they haven't really looked like scoring at all in the recent games that I've watched them.
I'll be avoiding them as well. Both teams can avoid from FPL perspective.
Right.
Moving on, Spurs Everton. So this is the game week that we bought Harry Kane in for, and just before this game he got injured. I'm hoping that the injury is not too bad, because it's the ankle that got hurt, and we know the trouble he had with his ankle. So I'm hoping he gets fit, because against Everton he has a good record, and if he starts, I'm very hopeful of a couple of returns in that game. Apart from Kane, anyone other than Kane in that fixture?
We saw the game against the Everton's game against United the other day. They were getting done for pace, and I think maybe there's something in there. Son could be vital as well. So I think I'm not entirely closing my options from the Spurs attacking perspective, even if Kane is not there.
I'm not quite optimistic about other Spurs assets, but if I have Perisic in defense, I'm definitely keeping him, and I'm definitely starting him. Everton, for once, are conceding a lot of chances from their right flank, where Son and Perisic are playing. So something to keep an eye on. If you have Perisic, don't sell him this week. Probably next, when he plays against United, might be a good time to sell, but start him this week.
Right.
Next game is Aston Villa versus Chelsea. Aston Villa played a very bad game tonight. Very poor game. Nothing from Watkins, nothing from Coutinho. Buendia tried a couple of things, but didn't work out. So I'm quite hopeful of a James clean sheet in this game. What do you think?
I think if we keep aside the rotation risk that Chelsea might offer, I think a lot of FPL assets are starting to grow in that Chelsea team. I think along with James, of course, who might be in mostly every team. I think Sterling might be somebody who can be looked at, because I'm not sure. Maybe his price might be a little non-tempting to most of the owners. But if there are talks of moving out Salah, then maybe Sterling could be fitting in, and he could be producing the goods for Chelsea in the long run.
Moving on, Leeds versus Arsenal. I don't think we need to discuss about this. Martinelli is a sure short starter. Apart from Martinelli, if Jesus is fit, if he is sure to start, Jesus and Martinelli are the ones to keep an eye on. Saka did well against Liverpool, but do you think he's worth bringing him in now? I don't think so, because he blanks next game week.
Correct. It's a risk bringing in. So if you have any Arsenal assets, keep them, but I don't think it's the right time to bring in a new Arsenal asset just yet, just for this game week.
What about selling Arsenal defense?
Would
you sell him?
Yes. I wouldn't keep, like, again, if you're still holding on to Ramsdale, keep him on the bench. If you really don't want to sell him, but because I think Leeds also will find a way to score. So so I don't think Arsenal is keeping a clean sheet.
Okay, moving on. The next game is United versus Newcastle. Last year this fixture resulted in a brace from Ronaldo. This time I'm not sure he starts, but Newcastle have had a fair few problems in the defense. I was very delightful to see Rashford play the way he is playing right now. He almost got that goal. I think that goal should have stood. But absolutely. I'm quite hopeful of a Rashford return in this game against Newcastle. Apart from that, I'm seeing a lot of managers bringing in Anthony, and we have spoken about this as well. But
not yet.
The numbers are not there. He has scored 3 goals in the last 3 games, but the numbers are not there. It's not showing in the statistics. So I don't know if the overperformance can continue. I don't see bringing him in as a good option, more so because there are so many good options at around 7.5 to 8.5 options. Apart from that, if you had Trippier, will you start him?
I will not, because I don't see them keeping a clean sheet. So, but maybe because he has that attacking returns, it's a bit tempting. But I really wish, as a United fan, my United fan inside me says United might keep a clean sheet, so I will not start Trippier, in my personal opinion. But again, his attacking returns are too tempting. So I might be, maybe at the last minute, maybe the last 5 minutes before the deadline, I might change my mind. But no, as of now, I'm not starting.
If I have like a good third defender, if I have Perisic in my team. So if I get the news that he's starting, I might start him and not Trippier. Okay, Southampton, West Ham. Any assets apart from Bowen? And Shamaka for you?
His overall performance is also good. His link-up play, link-up with Paqueta as well. They were creating a lot of chances along that left flank in the last game. So I think he is someone to look at. I saw a lot of managers actually bringing in Zuma last week. I'm not really sure of the West Ham defense yet. Yeah, because I still think there's a mistake in them, and Fabianski is a good short stopper, but I don't see him keeping many clean sheets.
But something to note this game week was that Bowen is on penalties. We were not aware about that. If you have him, obviously keep him. He has good run of fixtures. I won't be bringing him in at this moment, because I just feel having Maddison and then Foden becoming a good option from game week 30 is more important than bringing in a Bowen for now. Liverpool versus Manchester City. What do you expect from Haaland and Foden?
3-0 or 4-0 is what I'm expecting, but maybe I think clean sheet is not in the picture because Liverpool might score. But again,
the average has been 5 goals scored in the last 3 matches that they have
played each other. So I think Haaland will definitely score because I've also been seeing the kind of chances that Liverpool are conceding, and Haaland again and KDB is definitely going to start, and as Pep has started so Pep has started him in all his previous games against Liverpool and given him 90 minutes as well. So I think KDB, Foden and Haaland sure starters means there is goals there. In case somebody was actually thinking of moving any of them out, please do not. So you definitely know that's a bad decision if you are thinking about it. because even if the blank is coming in next week, their fixtures from game week 13 again are really good, and all of them they continue to remain attractive options. And in case you have not sold Salah, probably this is the time he is probably going out of your team. What do you think, Aakash?
3 things that I have made a note about from this game. First is that KDB is a big game player. If you are a KDB owner, don't make a mistake by selling him. Last 3 games, 3 goals, 2 assists, played 90 minutes against Liverpool. Don't sell him, start him. Second note that I have written in bold and in capital is Captain Haaland.
Absolutely.
Anything happens, don't Captain Kane over him. Remind yourself again and again, Captain Haaland. Third thing is about Trent and Salah. Some people are talking about things like Diaz being injured is a good thing for Salah because he'll now end up scoring more goals. But they're forgetting one thing, that Diaz was the most creative player in that team. Trent wasn't the creator in that team. It was Diaz who was creating a lot of runs, who was making everything click for Liverpool. And now that he is out, I'm not expecting big things from Liverpool. I know they might score because of the history and the intensity that they might have against City.
Right.
But if I was a Trent owner, he'll probably be missing this game, so I'll sell him. But if I am a Salah owner as well, I won't be keeping him. I'll be selling him as well. So that is it from this week. I hope our suggestions helped you this week and help you climb up your ranks in the mini league as well. Give you the green arrows. If you haven't subscribed our channel yet, please subscribe to our channel. Please help us reach 950. The voting for the Football Content Awards has ended. It has ended yesterday, and the results will be out 16th November. Again, we would like to thank everyone. We are very grateful for all the support and the love we have received from all of you. And just being in as one of the finalists in the Football Content Awards in the first year in the community is a big achievement for us, and just validates that we are doing something right. So just keep supporting us, keep loving us, and we'll be doing our best to keep supporting you and suggesting our best players. So that is it from the video. Thank you and goodbye.